Matthew 20, moving through Matthew. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers. Oh, this is one of the good stories, one of the tough ones. He was going to hire workers for his vineyard. So the kingdom of heaven is like this. He agreed to pay these workers a denarius for the day and sent them into his vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, they're day laborers. He told them, you also go and work in my vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right. He didn't give an amount. That will come into play. So they went. Mary, good morning. He went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. So he went in the morning, then at 9, then noon, then 3, and about 5 in the afternoon he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, why have you been standing here all day long doing nothing? Because no one has hired us, they answered. He said, you also go and work in my vineyard. When evening came, the owner of the vineyard said to his foreman, call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last ones hired and go on to the first. Jesus is telling a story, and he's making it hard to agree with. He's making it, just like when he heals on the Sabbath, he makes it hard for us to agree with him in some way. He makes it that we're tested, and I don't know. The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon came and each received a denarius, and that's what he promised the original workers. So the workers who worked an hour received a denarius. And you know what the guys at the front of the line are saying? Man, our pay is going to be much higher. So when those came who were hired first, they expected to receive more. Of course, you and I would too. But each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. These who were hired last worked only 1 hour, they said. And you have made them equal to us, who have borne the heat, the burden of the work and the heat of the day. We did all the work, and we sweated all day long. This is not right, landowner. But he answered one of them, I am not being unfair to you, friend. Didn't you agree to work for a denarius? Yes, but you made it look really unfair, Jesus. Take your pay and go. I want to give one who was hired last the same as I gave you. Don't I have the right to do what I want with my own money? Or are you envious because I am generous? Oh. And it doesn't even matter. I still feel like you're treating him wrong, Jesus. If I was treated like that, I wouldn't like it at all. So the last will be first and the first will be last. So Jesus flips something over, reverses it. And for the life of us, we can't think that feels right unless we're the last worker that shows up and we understand the generosity. Understanding Jesus' generosity, it's only possible if you're the one who feels you were generously treated. And I think in the heavenly realm, we all will feel that way. But right here, we do not understand being generous with others rather than ourselves. So the last will be first, the first will be last. Now Jesus was going up to Jerusalem. On the way, he took the 12 aside and said to them, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over to the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death and will hand him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified. On the third day, he will be raised to life. So he tells plainly what's going to happen. He doesn't say he'll be handed over to Rome. He's going to be handed over to the Jewish authorities. Then the mother of Zebedee's sons, not Zebedee, Zebedee's wife, came to Jesus and her sons, and kneeling down asked a favor of him. What is it you want? Jesus asked. She said, grant that one of my 2 sons, these 2 sons of mine, may sit at your right and the other at your left in your kingdom. Now this reminds me of Solomon when Bathsheba said to David, this isn't your firstborn, this is my child, I'd like him to be king. And Bathsheba schemed a little bit to get David to make her son the king. It's not clear that was against the typical way of doing things. You don't know what you were asking, Jesus said to them. Can you drink the cup I am going to drink? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, you will indeed drink from my cup. So the cup of some kind of death and punishment, torture, affliction. But to sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. We certainly will follow Jesus into death, and then we'll be taken through by his power. And we will receive, like the wage earners, we will be pleased with his favor. These places belong to those of whom they have been prepared by my Father. When the 10 heard about this, they were indignant with the two brothers. And it's just after they told the story of being indignant with the landowner. Now the disciples are indignant. Jesus called them together and said, you know that the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant. And whoever wants to be first must be your slave, the first last, the greatest the servant, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. So they will follow in that same way that Jesus is. They will give their life as a ransom for many, but Jesus' ransom, of course, is the ransom. As Jesus and his disciples were leaving, I'm almost done here. We're leaving Jericho, a large crowd followed him. 2 blind men were sitting by the roadside, and when they heard that Jesus was going by, they shouted, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. The crowd rebuked them and told them to be quiet, but they shouted all the louder, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. Jesus stopped and called them. What do you want me to do? The blind men, what do you want me to do? Hello, Jesus, I'd like to see. Lord, they answered, we want our sight. He had compassion on them and touched their eyes. Immediately they received their sight and followed him. There you go. That is Matthew 20. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.